In 1994, the World Cup came to America, and fans showed up. Working-class fans, students, families who'd scraped together enough for a ticket. 32 years later, football came back. But this time, that's the official price FIFA listed for a single front-row seat to the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. Not scalpers, not the black market. FIFA's own website, and it gets worse. On FIFA's own official resale marketplace, 4 seats in one section were listed at somewhere between 1994 and today. Football stopped being a sport you attend. It became something else entirely. But here's what nobody's telling you. The price isn't even the most dangerous part of FIFA 2026. The most dangerous part is the scam almost nobody sees coming. Section 2, the shocking number. How did we get here? Let's put this in real terms. The average American household earns around $75,000 a year. A single official Category 1 ticket to the World Cup final, purchased directly from FIFA, costs $32,970. That's nearly half a family's annual income for one seat for 90 minutes of football. And if you missed FIFA's ticket lottery, which over 500 million people entered, you don't even get to pay that price. You go to the resale market. And that's where this story really begins. To be fair, FIFA didn't list $32,970 as the starting price. They started Category 1 final tickets at $10,990. Then, using their new dynamic pricing system, they tripled it overnight. And 2 members of the United States Congress had to write a formal letter asking FIFA to explain itself. Think about that. Not a fan petition, not a social media campaign. United States lawmakers asking a Swiss football organization why it was charging Americans half a year's salary to watch a game. FIFA's response? FIFA President Gianni Infantino said, and I'm quoting, "If someone buys a $2 million ticket, I will personally bring a hot dog and a Coke to make sure that he has a great experience." That's who's running football. Section 3. How FIFA changed ticket pricing forever. To understand what happened in 2026, you need to understand what FIFA quietly changed. Dynamic pricing. It sounds boring. It is anything but. Traditional ticket pricing works like this. FIFA sets a fixed price, prints it on the ticket, done. Dynamic pricing works like airline seats. The more people want it, the more it costs. Every time demand spikes, after a big team qualifies, after the group draw, after a rival match gets announced, the price adjusts automatically. Upward. Always upward. In Qatar 2022, the most expensive official Category 1 final ticket was around $1,400. In 2026, FIFA's own website listed Category 1 final seats starting at $10,990, and then tripled them. We went from $400 to $32,970 in one tournament cycle. Now, to be fair, FIFA argues dynamic pricing brings in more revenue that funds football development globally. Maybe. But here's what they don't say. The fans who were already locked out, the ones who lost the ticket lottery, they're the ones facing those dynamic prices on the resale market. And the resale market has rules of its own. Section 4, the death of affordable football. There's a version of football that used to exist. You'd save up for weeks, maybe months. You'd buy a ticket. Stand in a queue. Go with your dad or your mates, your kids. It was loud. It was chaotic. It was yours. That world is disappearing. And the 2026 World Cup is the clearest signal yet. Look at what it costs just to get to a match at MetLife Stadium. NJ Transit, the regional train service, originally planned to charge a $150 round trip from all stations on World Cup match days. On a normal day, that same journey costs $13. After public outrage, New Jersey's governor intervened. The price came down to $105, $105, just for the train, before the ticket, before the food, before the hotel, before the flight from wherever in the world you traveled from. For a family of 4 from Brazil, watching their national team play at MetLife Stadium, The cheapest possible day out costs thousands of dollars before they've even sat down. Football used to be the sport of the people, the one sport that belonged to everyone, everywhere, regardless of what was in your wallet. That football is becoming a memory. And then came the secondary market. Section 5. The legal scalping machine. Here's something FIFA can't control and doesn't want to talk about. In the United States, reselling tickets is largely legal, and that legal gray area has built an entire industry. The moment FIFA released World Cup tickets, professional brokers went to work. Not fans, brokers. People who use automated software, bots, to purchase as many tickets as possible the instant they go on sale, before a real fan can even load the page. The cheapest World Cup final ticket currently listed on StubHub, $8,311, for a seat in the very top row of the upper deck, behind a goal. Platforms like StubHub, SeatGeek, and Vivid Seats dominate this market. And here's what makes it especially frustrating. Some of these listings went up before FIFA had even released the tickets being sold. Speculative listings. Tickets that don't exist yet, being sold by people betting they'll acquire them later. That's not scalping. That's something darker. And it has a name. Section 6. The ghost ticket scam. The most dangerous thing in FIFA 2026. I need you to pay very close attention to this next part. Because what I'm about to explain has already cost fans thousands of dollars, and it will cost thousands more before the tournament ends. It's called speculative ticketing. And it's the ghost ticket scam. Here's how it works. A seller lists tickets to the World Cup final. The listing looks perfect. Specific seats, specific rows, a price, a guarantee. But those tickets, they don't exist yet. The seller doesn't own them. They're betting, gambling, that they'll be able to acquire those tickets before match day and transfer them to you. If their bet pays off, you get the ticket late. If it doesn't, you spend match day refreshing your inbox, watching the kickoff time pass, waiting for a transfer that never comes. Researchers at cybersecurity firm Flare ran an investigation into this. They contacted suspected scam sellers on social media. When they asked for tickets to games involving teams that didn't qualify for the tournament, like Italy, scammers confirmed they had them. When they invented a fictional country called Velmoran and asked for tickets to see it play Germany, the scammer replied that those tickets were available too. Every ticket was available. Every price was negotiable. Every identity was fabricated. And the methods these scammers use have evolved. Fake waiting lists, pre-sale offers, cloned ticket confirmations, counterfeit QR codes. They've built websites that look identical to FIFA's official platform. Same colors, same fonts, same layout. The only difference? The URL is slightly wrong, a typo, an extra word, a different domain extension. By the time you notice, your payment has gone through. The FTC warns that these methods make it nearly impossible to recover your money, especially if you paid by Zelle, Cash App, wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency. And that's exactly what scammers ask for, because those payments can't be reversed. 100% of suspected scammers that Flare investigated had newly created social media profiles, accounts that were days or months old. Real brokers and legitimate sellers have accounts stretching back years. So here's your warning system. Remember these 3 signs. Red flag 1. The seller cannot instantly transfer the ticket through FIFA's official app. If they say, wait until closer to kickoff, that is a ghost ticket. Red flag 2. The ticket is a screenshot, a PDF, or a photo of a QR code. FIFA is using mobile-only tickets through the official FIFA app. Paper printouts and screenshots will not work at stadium gates. Red flag 3. They're creating urgency. Pay now or lose the ticket. Real sellers don't need to pressure you. Soccer ticket scams are already up 36% this year, according to Lloyds Bank. Football scams now account for nearly a third of all ticket fraud being tracked. FIFA received over 500 million ticket requests for 2026. 500 million people wanting something that only exists for a fraction of them. That is not a ticketing problem. That is the perfect environment for mass fraud, and scammers know it. Shin 7. The real fan scenarios. Let me show you what this actually looks like for real people. Scenario 1. You're a Brazilian fan. You've followed the seleção your entire life. You enter the FIFA lottery for tickets to Brazil versus Morocco at MetLife, one of the most anticipated group stage games of the tournament. You lose the lottery, you go to StubHub. The cheapest available ticket, $1,428 for a Category 3 seat. You're in the nosebleeds. You book it. You buy flights. You book the hotel. Total trip cost for one person, somewhere between $4,000 and $8,000 for a group stage game. Scenario 2. You're American. The U.S. team is playing at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, the home crowd, your team, your country. But the resale market has treated USA matches as premium events because American fans and international fans who've always dreamed of watching the U.S. play on home soil will pay anything, and the market charges accordingly. Scenario 3. You're a working-class fan from Mexico. Your team is playing in Estadio Azteca. You can't afford the official hospitality packages. You go looking on social media. You find a seller. He's friendly. He has WhatsApp. He has guaranteed tickets. He asks for a wire transfer. You send it, he disappears. In many cases, victims don't realize they've been scammed until they're standing at the stadium gate, denied entry, watching strangers walk past them into the match they paid hundreds or thousands to attend. Section 8. Why this World Cup feels different. Every World Cup has problems. Qatar had human rights controversies. Russia had geopolitical tension. Brazil saw protests outside the stadiums. But 2026 has something different. A pricing crisis that reaches directly into the pocket of every fan who wants to attend. FIFA's own dynamic pricing model, designed to maximize revenue, has created a tournament where the people who love the sport the most are the least likely to be able to afford it. The true Category 1 seats at the final are going to people who bought them as investment assets. Not fans, investors. The stands at MetLife on July 19th will be full of people who paid $30,000 to say they were there, not people who cried when their country scored in the 90th minute, not people who painted their faces and wore their jersey for the third time this week. Football has always been about belonging, about a shared moment, 80,000 strangers becoming one thing for 90 minutes. And now that belonging has been priced. It has a number. And for most fans on Earth, that number is out of reach. Section 9. Conclusions. What you need to know. So what do you actually do with all of this? If you're attending 2026 or thinking about it, here's what matters. Buy only from FIFA's official website or the FIFA resale marketplace. If the price on the secondary market is suspiciously low, it's fake. If the seller can't transfer through the FIFA app immediately, walk away. If they want payment by wire transfer, crypto, or Cash App, it's a scam. Use a credit card when you have no other option. Credit cards offer dispute rights that wire transfers and peer-to-peer apps simply don't. And go directly to FIFA's website by typing the address yourself. Don't click ads. Don't click social media links. Scammers have built fake FIFA pages that are nearly indistinguishable from the real thing. The 2026 World Cup is going to be extraordinary. The football will be extraordinary, and FIFA knows that. They know that no matter how high the prices go, no matter how broken the system feels, people will still want to be there. Because football does that to you. It always has. The question is whether the sport's governing body sees that loyalty as something to honor or something to monetize. Right now, the evidence points clearly in one direction. Section 10. Mexico teaser now. If you think America's ticket pricing system is brutal, wait until you see what's happening around Estadio Azteca. Because in Mexico City, it's not just about resale markups and dynamic pricing. There's a different kind of scam operating in the streets around that stadium. Clone tickets, duplicate barcodes, organized criminal networks that have been running this system for years and saw the World Cup coming from a mile away. Fans arriving to Azteca with what they believe are real tickets, being turned away at the gate by security. Multiple people, same seat, same barcode. Only one of them got in. That story is next.